We're back to the reading. We're back to the reading, back to the Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. This has been the book that I've been stuck on. It's like I said, it's an easy read, but I want to share with y'all some words from the chapter called Essentials. So I'm gonna share with y'all the words, and then you guys, as I'm reading it, think about what feelings are being generated in you based on the reading, and then I'll kind of share with y'all my points. And a lot of this stuff, I'll be totally honest, a lot of this stuff I question it, and that's good to question it, because I'm like, damn, is this really the right way to go? But we'll get into that. So, essentials. The essential points in the successful use of the law of assumption are these. First and above all, yearning, longing, intense burning desire. With all your heart, you must want to be different from what you are. With all your heart, you must want to be different from what you are. Intense burning desire is the mainspring of action, the beginning of all successful ventures. In every great passion, desire is concentrated. That's a lot right there. We're probably going to have to go back to that, but I want to finish reading and then we'll get back to that. Righteousness is the consciousness of already being what you want to be. Righteousness is the consciousness of already being what you want to be. The value of physical immobility shows itself in the accumulation of mental force, which absolute stillness brings with it. It increases your power of concentration. I'm going to read that again, because that was one where I'm like, hold on, what the hell are they talking about? The value of physical immobility shows itself in the accumulation of mental force, which absolute stillness brings with it. It increases your power of concentration. The third and last thing to do is to experience in your imagination what you would experience in reality had you achieved your goal. Imagine that you possess a quality or something you desire, which hitherto has not been yours. Surrender yourself completely to this feeling until your whole being is possessed by it. This state differs from revere in this respect. It is the result of a controlled imagination and a steady, concentrated attention, whereas revere, I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right, revere is the result of an uncontrolled imagination, usually just a daydream. All right, so the reason why I said I question the value of physical immobility shows itself in the accumulation of mental force. This chapter is talking about how, and the book has talked about sometimes the opposite of how I've approached things. And it's talked about how do less. Have you ever seen that movie Forgetting Sarah Marshall? I think I've actually played the clip. And I may try to grab it right now. But he's talking about do less. He's trying to teach him how to surf, and the guy's telling him, like, showing him how to get up on the board, and he's like, yeah, do less. And he keeps telling him to do less to the point where he doesn't even move, because he's like, yo, every time I move, you're telling me to do less. So he just lays on the board, doesn't do anything. And the guy's like, yeah, well, now you're not doing anything. And sometimes I have these same thoughts. It's like, I come from, or I've subscribed to the belief that if you want something, you just work, grind, go through pain, and come out better on the other side. However, a lot of what this is teaching is more so like the work smarter, not harder mental approach, rather than the just keep chopping wood approach. And like I told y'all, I question it because I'm wondering, like, yo, what really is best for me? But I want to go back to the first paragraph and read that again, because I think that was important, where the essential points in the successful use of the law of assumption are these. First and above all, yearning, longing, intense burning desire. With all your heart, you must want to be different from what you are. A lot of us say that we want to change. A lot of us will tell ourselves, we'll tell our friends, we'll tell any and everybody else that we want to change. We'll put it on our Instagram caption. We'll tweet about it, but we're full of shit. We're full of shit. Why? I'm going to read it again. With all your heart, you must want to be different from what you are. If you want to be different from what you are and you're not doing it wholeheartedly, in my opinion, you don't really want to change. You don't really want to be different than who you are. You're perfectly fine accepting who you are, because if you did, you would approach it with all your heart. And I think that's something that a lot of us struggle with. Intense burning desire is the mainspring of action. Intense burning desire is the mainstream of action. That's the mainspring of action, the beginning of all successful ventures. And I would also say that this can also apply in a negative way, but just more so when you look around at society, like why it's so important to get people like riled up, why it's so important to get people either angry, get people either upset in some type of way. So therefore they will have that burning desire. When people are just kind of going day to day and indifferent on a particular situation, there's no burning desire. So there's nothing encouraging them to take that next step and to actually follow through with something. So that's why I said, could be negative, could be positive. I look at it from a sense of influence. If you're trying to influence somebody, you have to figure out a way to get them to believe in whatever it is that you're saying, whatever it is that you're pushing, whatever it is that you're selling. You have to get them to believe in that with all of their heart and to have a burning desire for it, because other than that, they won't. Look at people who are obsessed with Jordan sneakers. You don't have to convince them to buy the next Jordan pair of sneakers. They'll convince themselves, rationalize, well, they're $3,000, but even though I love the shoes, if I don't wear them, then I can just hold on to them. And then y'all know how it goes. So the burning desire, that's the key. That's what I wanted to touch on with that from that reading. And you guys let me know your thoughts as well. So moving on.